Hello learners, let us have a small introduction to what is data warehousing. The idea of data warehousing evolved during late 1980s. The term data warehouse was coined by William H. Eman, who is known as the father of data warehousing. This concept is used to provide an architectural model for the flow of data from operational systems to various decision support environments. This concept attempts to brief a variety of problems which is very closely associated with this flow, mainly the high costs associated with it. In the absence of a data warehousing architecture, a great amount of redundancy is required to support multiple decision support environments. In larger scenarios, it is typical for multiple decision support environments to operate independently. Though each environment serves different uses, they often require the same stored data. The process of gathering, cleaning and integrating data, for example from various sources, usually from long-term existing operational systems, is in part for each environment. The operational systems are frequently re-examined as new decision support a requirement emerges. Often, new requirements require gathering, cleaning and integrating new data from data marts, which is tailored for instant access by users. Data warehouse, which is also known as an enterprise data warehouse, is a system used for reporting and data analysis. It is also considered as a core component of business intelligence. The data stored in the warehouse is uploaded from the operational systems. The data passes through an operational data store and will require data cleansing for additional operations to ensure data quality before it is used in the data warehouse for reporting. The typical ETL, that is extract, transform, load based data warehouse, uses staging, data integration and access layers to express its key functions. The staging layer database stores raw data taken from each of the disparate source data systems. The integration layer integrates the disparate data sets by transforming the data from staging layer, often storing this transformed data in an operational data store database, that is an ODS database. The integrated data are then moved to yet another database, often called the data warehouse database, where the data is arranged into hierarchical groups and into facts and aggregate facts. Star schema is the name coined for the combination of facts and dimensions. The users can retrieve data through access layer. The main source of the data is cleansed, transformed, catalogued and made available for use by managers and other business professionals for data mining, online analytical processing, market research and decision support. The method to retrieve and analyze data, to extract, transform and load data and to manage the data dictionary are also important for a data warehousing system. An expanded definition of the data warehousing includes business intelligence tools, tools to extract, transform and load data into the repository and tools to manage and retrieve metadata. Data warehousing emphasizes the capture of data from data mart diverse sources for useful analysis and access start from the point of view of the end user who may need access to specialized, sometimes local databases. There are two approaches in data warehousing, top down and bottom up. The top down approaches spins off data marts for specific groups of users after the complete data warehouse has been created. On the other hand, the bottom up approach builds the data marts first and then combines them into a single all encompassing data warehouse. A data warehouse is housed on an enterprise mainframe server in the cloud. Data from various online transaction processing applications, that is OLTP and other sources is selectively extracted. William H. Eman described a data warehouse as being a subject oriented, integrated, time variant and non-volatile collection of data which supports management's decision making process. It is also known as technique for collecting and managing data from variety of sources to provide meaningful business insights. It is a cluster of technologies and components that allow the strategic use of data. It is an electronic storage of a large amount of information by a business which is designed for query and analysis. It is a process of transforming data into information and making it available to users. The decision support database, the data warehouse, is maintained in different methods from the organization's operational database. Many people mistake data warehouse to be a product which actually is an environment. To be more elaborate, it is actually an architectural construct that belongs to an informational system. On the other hand, it offers the users with information that supports historical and current decision. There is actually very much difficult for accessing the traditional operational data store. The data warehouse is very much utilized for data analysis and reporting and is the crux of the business intelligence system. The third normal form database has interconnected tables related to one another. For instance, current inventory information consists of 12 or more joined conditions which actually can deteriorate the speed of the response to the report and query. On the other hand, the data warehouse offers a peculiar design which can help to increase the probability of queries for analytics and report. In addition to it, the data warehouse decreases the response time also. Let us see a brief history of data warehouse. The main benefits of data warehouse are it helps the users to understand, enhance and improve the performance as far as their organization is concerned. As computer systems started becoming more complex and handling the amount of information becomes harder, the need and importance of data warehouse emerged. But data warehousing is not something new. For example, in 1960, Dartmouth and General Mills jointly coined the definition dimensions and facts. Dimensional data marts for retail sales was introduced in the year 1970 by Nielsen. A company called Teradata Corporation in 1983 introduced a specifically designed database management system for decision support. An IBM worker, Paul Murphy and Barry Devlin, developed the business data warehouse in the late 1980s. And from then on, data warehousing started. On the contrary, the mastermind behind the data warehousing is Inman Bill, and he is considered the father of data warehouse. He has considered his writing about maintenance of the warehouse and the corporate information factory by building and usage. Let us see how a data warehouse works. A data warehouse is a powerhouse where the information is received from many data sources. Data is received into a data warehouse from other databases. Data is classified into three different sections which include the following three: structured, semi-structured and unstructured data. The data is inhaled, transfigured and processed and thereby allowing the user to access the data which is processed through SQL clients and spreadsheets. In addition to this, information is joined from different sources through data warehouses into a single comprehensive database. Through this, the customer can accurately analyze because all the information is merged in one place. This process also ensures that the data and information is considered by the data warehouse properly. Another benefit of data warehousing is that it allows data mining, which actually leads to better sales and higher profits through the pattern system. Let us see the types of data warehouses. The first one is an enterprise data warehouse. An enterprise data warehouse offers decision support services throughout the enterprise. It is also a centralized warehouse. It provides a uniform and unique approach in representing and organizing data. Enterprise data warehouse helps the user to select, identify and access based on division and differentiate data based on the subject. The second type is the operational data store. An operational data store operates as a substitute which neither OLTP nor data warehouse support reporting. Data warehouse is refreshed from time to time in operational data store. Therefore, operational data store is usually used for regular activities which include storage of employees' record and many other applications. The third type is a data mart. Data mart is exclusively designed for the businesses which include finance and sales. Data mart is a subdivision of data warehouse. Let us see the general stages of data warehouse. The first one, offline operational database. In this database, the data is transformed from operational system to a server. Processing, reporting and loading of the copied data over impact the performance of the operational systems. Offline data warehouse. In this data warehouse, data is frequently updated from the operational database. The transformation of data in the data warehouse is done to meet the objectives of data warehouse. Next one is the real-time data warehouse. In this stage, every data warehouses are refreshed and updated during a transaction. For instance, this is done when a ticket is booked in an airline or in a railway booking system. Integrated data warehouse. This stage leads to the next process, that is when an transaction takes place. The transaction is generated through the data warehouses to the operational system. Now, let us see the components of data warehouse. First one is the load manager. The load manager extracts and input data into the data warehouse and it is otherwise called as the front component. It also transforms the preparation of data to enter into the next phase. A data warehouse manager. The warehouse manager does operations which is closely associated with managing the data in the data warehouse. It analyzes the data to confirm creation of indices and view consistency, denormalization and aggregations. A query manager is very well known as the back-end component. It assists the entire operations related to the user queries. And finally, we have the end user access tools. This includes 5 different groups like data reporting, query tools, application development tools, EIS tools, OLAP tools and data mining tools. Having seen what is a data warehouse, let us now see who needs a data warehouse. User who needs mass amount of data. It helps users who obtain customized difficult processes to receive information from various data sources. It benefits people who demand basic technology to access the data. Users who require a perfect approach to taking decisions. For users who require fast performance on a huge amount of data, which is a necessity for obtaining chart grids and reports. Users who want to identify the hidden patterns of grouping and data flows. Let us see where the data house can be used for. Here are most common sectors where data warehouse is used. One is airlines. In airlines, it is used for route portability, frequent flyer promotions, crew assignment analysis, banking for better desk effective management to identify the resource and manage it. Certain banks use data warehouse for performance analysis on market research. In healthcare, data warehouse is used to generate patients' disease reports, treatment outcome and share the data with the medical aid services and insurance company. In the public sector, it is used in government sector to properly analyze the details of very individual health records, tax records and many other. It is also used for intelligence gathering. Another application is investment and insurance sector. This sector involves analysis of data patterns, customer trends and is also used to track market movement and fluctuation. Another application area of data warehousing is a retail chain. In retail chains, data warehouse promptly benefits for the marketing and distributing process. It is also helpful to promote product and determining price issues, track customer buying pattern and items. This is widely used for distribution and marketing. It also helps to track items, customer buying pattern, promotions and also used for determining pricing policy. In telecommunication, a data warehouse is very much used in this sector to implement distribution decisions, sale decision and product promotion. In hospitality industry, data warehousing makes use of the products to estimate and design to promote campaigns and advertising. Let us see the steps to implement the data warehouse. Data warehouse implementation is to employ a 3-pronged strategy as we will explain now. First one is enterprise strategy. Data transformation and data mapping is fast through this strategy, and at the same time attributes, dimensions and facts are identified. Phased delivery. In this step, data warehouse implementation is phased based upon subject areas. For instance, business steps like booking and billing are first implemented and then integrated with one another. Iterative prototyping. In this method, data warehouse is developed and tested iteratively. Let us see the best practices to implement a data warehouse. First, decide a plan to accurately identify the consistency and integrity of the data. The data warehouse should be well defined and well integrated. Next, while designing a data warehouse, make sure you use the right tools, stick to the life cycle, take care about data conflicts and ready to learn from your mistakes. Do not replace reports and operational systems. When designing data warehouse, confirm that the right tool is being used and don't spend much time on cleaning, extracting and loading data. Identify and implement a training plan for the end users. Try to involve all stakeholders and business partners in data warehouse implementation process. Data warehouse advantages and disadvantages. Let us see the advantages first. It permits the user to gather and access critical data from sources and put them together in one place. Data warehouse gives constant information about different cross-functional performance. It also supports ad hoc query and reporting. Data warehouse allows the user to integrate and restructure, which allows the user to easily analyze a report. Data warehouse helps the user to be time effective in analyzing and reporting. It also helps the user to access many important data from various sources by a single touch. Data warehouse helps the user to predict the upcoming future as it stores the large amount of historical data. Now we will see the disadvantages. Now let us see the disadvantages. It is not an advisable option for unstructured data to use the data warehouse. The implementation process of data warehouse is time consuming process. The beginner finds too difficult to use the data warehouse. At the same time, data warehouse can become outdated very quickly. It is very much difficult to make few changes in queries, indices, data sources, schema and data typos and ranges. Let us look into the future of data warehousing. In spite of all its negatives and shortcomings, the scope of data warehousing are on the rise as the regulatory constraints changes from time to time. It may limit the performance to combine different data from different sources. This may include unstructured data, which is usually a difficult one to store. This is because the size of the data grows every day and the data warehouse system helps the user to build and run the data as the size grows. Regarding the tools for the data warehouse, there are many data warehousing tools that are available in the market. We have seen a brief about the data warehouse, the components and the processes involved in building and using a data warehouse. Thank you.